What's up, guys? Today I just wanted to hop on here and make a quick video to address what's going on in the YouTube reaction community right now, because I think it's important that no matter the size of channel you have, you say something. So I am of course referring to Drake suing UMG and calling out reaction YouTubers in the lawsuit and using them as evidence. Now, I know I don't normally talk about rap. I don't really go into the rap community that much because honestly, I don't think I know that much about rap. I enjoy rap and I enjoy watching the beef that happened with Kendrick and Drake. So I do follow like when big things happen in the community. And now here we come back and Drake still isn't over it. And now he's drawing people in, and these people are giants in our community of reactors. Because this affects the YouTube reactor community, I wanted to say something. Drake is suing UMG, which is a label that produced Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. And he's suing them basically because Not Like Us did so well. It was #1 on the hip hop Billboard chart, which is wild that a diss track made it that far, but that's another story, right? Drake is making some wild claims here, and basically Drake is claiming that UMG allowed people to just make videos and reaction videos of this particular song in order to perpetuate defamatory remarks and jeopardizing his personal safety somehow. I don't know exactly how YouTubers contribute to that, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a little guy. My first thought when I heard this was, what are you talking about? Drake is so confident in taking L's right now. Like the whole past year he's been losing and he just keeps losing, and now he goes into a different community trying to disrupt it, I guess, and is gonna lose there too, because we all watched Drake lose the rap battle with Kendrick over multiple tracks, and we watched him do it spectacularly because Kendrick brought his A game. He really did. It was great to watch. But now here we are about a year later now, after this whole beef supposedly, cooled down. And Drake is now adding YouTubers to a lawsuit, which to me is absolutely wild. Also, another thing that Knox Hill said, one of the things that he said in one of his videos addressing this is all the content creators that Drake is mentioning in this lawsuit happen to also be black. And he was like, at some point someone's going to notice this, someone's going to bring it up, and is this really the move? Is this intentional? And exactly what are you trying to say? Which is an interesting thing. I think it is a valid point to bring up. I'll learn to talk at some points, but it's a valid thing to bring up in this case. Like I said, we all knew that Drake lost this beef to Kendrick. But now, going after YouTubers, he's trying to lose in another dimension. And that's because if you read the lawsuit, if you read the filings, it is clear that the people running this case do not understand the nuance of YouTube, and they don't understand how communities get built around these figures, and how, for the most part, a lot of these communities are very positive. They're great for engagement. They're great for people being able to share their own opinions back and forth and not get flack, basically, for having the opinions they have. I think reaction YouTubing in general is probably one of the best things on YouTube, because everyone can present themselves as they are and it'll attract people that like that or want to engage with that. Originally, I heard about this from No Life Shaq. Shaq is one of the biggest YouTube reactors that I've come across and that I have followed consistently for many years. And there's a reason for it. He's authentic, he's genuine, he's a great dude, and he has a lot of good points that he brings to all of his videos. There's obviously no ill will in anything that Shaq is doing or bringing to the table. One of the things that Shaq did say in his video was that nobody was watching the beef for Drake. No one was watching the beef just for Kendrick. They were watching the beef because there was beef. People like conflict. People run to conflict. Yeah, some people will. This next part that I'm going to say is purely my opinion, and this is my opinion as someone viewing hip hop from outside the community. So take it with a grain of salt, take it or leave it. I could be way off. There are 4 things that you need if you are going to enter a rap battle. Number 1, you want to win it. Drake didn't win it. Number 2, you got to be ready to take the hits. Drake is still over a year later throwing a temper tantrum. He was not ready to take the hits. Number 3, you got to be ready to refute the charges that are being brought against you. You have to be ready for that, and you have to be ready to say, no, actually, this is the truth, or no, actually, Drake did a horrible job of retorting or putting up a defense against what Kendrick was bringing, which is troubling at best. And the 4th and final thing that you want to do is be able to leave the rap battle, if you didn't win, with your dignity. And Drake is just, I don't know if he's trying to destroy his career, but that's what it seems like he's doing. He's not doing a great job promoting himself in a positive light, and I don't think it's gonna really pan out for him. I think it's rare to see someone who is so musically known, who still performs and is still popular, still has a huge fan base, but also has so much hate and disrespect from the community that he is claiming that he represents. We have to ask the question, why is that? And Kendrick kind of says that Drake is lame and that he's always been lame and is still lame. And yeah, I would say Drake's behavior here is pretty lame, but another thing that really stands out to me is Drake appears so fake. Like, everything about him is fake. It's like before every interview, he reads off a sheet and it's like, okay, these are my answers so that I come across as cool to the kids these days. Sweet. And that's not how you build anything, right? That's not how you connect with people. That's not how you get a real connection out of anything. If you want a real connection, you gotta be genuine. You gotta be authentic. You gotta be vulnerable to a degree. And that's something that Kendrick brought to this beef. And he also rallied the entire community of Compton around him. And I think that shows great showmanship, but it also shows a genuine interest in the community that he lives in. And that's huge. One thing that I find absolutely insane with Drake's coming at Shaq this way is that based off, if you knew Shaq's channel, if you knew how he talks, if you knew his personality at all, you would know that Shaq would not condone or promote hate towards anybody. If he didn't like your music, he'd just say, bro, I don't really vibe with this music. He wouldn't say, go hurt that person. And he also never said that about Drake's music. He never said that Drake's disses were bad. So in a sense, bringing up people like Shaq, who are really kind people, very genuine, and putting them in a lawsuit is almost asking to get countersued for defamation of character, because he's taking this stance towards them of, you guys are trying to get me hurt and you're trying to harm my image, when these people are some of the most genuine, nice people on the YouTube platform. I think it's important that as reactors, we all stand together and say something when people in our community are attacked, right? And I think it's important that we also stand against people that are making unjust claims about somebody. And like I said, everything that I've watched from Shaq, and the reason I speak specifically to Shaq is because he's really the only one of the YouTubers that I have followed extensively. So I feel like I can say, based on their content, that their character is kind, genuine, hardworking, and he wants to improve the community. He doesn't want to bring it down. And to put him in a position like this where you're saying he's the problem for people being dangerous towards Drake is ridiculous. So this is basically me just standing here saying, I stand with you, Shaq. I support you in this. And I hope other creators as well will continue to support you, and that we as a community of reactors, little channels like me and big channels like them, all stand together and say, hey, it ain't cool to just attack people. Don't do it.